Coach.
Talk to me, baby.
We're going to go right into this week's ELLIE House Game of the Week. We got the Canton McKinley Bulldogs.
Yes.
Nino Hill, Dante McCullen, Cam Montgomery and company. Traveling across town.
You know it.
To their arch nemesis, the Massillon Tigers.
Brother.
Jalen Slaughter, Jameer Gamble, so on and so forth. Exactly. Defending champs.
On both sides, like you said, so on and so on. You can just keep going and going and going and going. Number one, let's start with Canton McKinley. Took a tough loss last week. Something about like the end of the year going into this game with Canton McKinley the last few years where they kind of struggle. I don't know if it's the fact that you just lose focus or we just got to give credit to the Federal League. The Federal League is a tough football league to win. They still going to share a chance to share the title, but they got to let that go. And the good thing is they do play Massillon. It's easy to let go last week when you got Massillon sitting right there in front of you. Number one, like you said, our arch nemesis. So this is our biggest rival we got. We ain't got time to be forgetting about what just happened in the past. We got to get ready because there's nobody we hate losing more to than these dudes. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Same thing with Massillon. Massillon won 3 in a row coming into this game. That don't matter. Sure, Coach Moore telling them that don't matter. In rivalry games, you throw the records out the window because it comes more down to focus, determination, grit, who wants it more, especially when you got these type of two teams where the talent is pretty much equal. You know what I mean? The talent is pretty much equal. I'm sure at some position in some places you could say Massillon got a little more here, Canton McKinley probably got a little more here, but all in all, the talent is equal. Division I team against a Division II team. Like you said, they 20, 25 minutes apart. So I'm sure all the kids know each other. They've probably been playing against each other in different sports growing up, and it's their arch nemesis. As far as Canton McKinley, everybody got to play great. It's the same thing I said for Harding last week, not because it's Massillon, because of what type of game it is. All your best players got to play best. All your best players got to play best. Last week against Jackson, they kind of got into that unfocused McKinley. What I'm saying is they ain't shooting shots. Anytime McKinley loses, you can look at the box score. They got high penalties, high turnovers. They don't take care of the ball. That let me know they ain't focused. When you got a lot of penalties and you ain't taking care of the ball, that let me know right there you ain't focused, you ain't ready to rock. So that's kind of been the blueprint when Canton McKinley loses. You can go back and look at those stats. They got to be able to play a clean game this week. Take care of the ball. You know what I mean? Massillon is good enough. If you give them extra possessions, they're going to be able to thrive on that and convert those into points. So we don't need to give them extra possessions because we're not taking care of the ball. Play a clean game. No false starts, no pre-snap penalties, no personal foul penalties. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're never going to play a clean, perfect game. But if we're going to have a penalty, let us have a penalty, a true penalty, just playing hard in the flow of the game. You know what I mean? We'll take a pass interference if we feel like you there, you competing, you fighting. Okay, the ref just feel like a pass interference call don't kill you in high school that much. It's 15 yards. And then like in the pros where it's spotted the foul. You know what I mean? So far as Canton McKinley, they got the talent. Let's just play our best game right now in week 10 against our arch nemesis going into the playoffs. Let's play our best game and let's our best players step up. Cam Montgomery, Nino Hill, Jamar Johnson, Keith Quincy, DJ Britt, Darius Hill, Dante McClellan, Kavion McNeil. I can go on and on. You know what I mean? They need all them guys to play well, and they're capable of playing well. We see them guys playing well all the time, so we need all them guys to play well. This is my question for Massillon. Can the defense make Massillon one-dimensional? The thing about Massillon is they balance. They can beat you with the run, or Jaden Slaughter can throw that thing over your head to Ja Carter, Braylon Toes. They got big-time receivers. When you playing them, you got to be able to take something away and make them one-dimensional. I don't know what their game plan is, if it's trying to take away the run and make them just pass. Okay, let's take away the pass because we feel like we can hold up on front and hold down against the run. So that's my question for Canton McKinley. Can their defense take away the run and make Massillon one-dimensional? You look at Massillon. We just talked about them coming off a 45-14 win at Warren G. Harding. Won 3 in a row. They playing good right now. You know what I mean? They playing balance. I just talked about it. They could beat you in the pass game. They could beat you in the run game. And not only can they beat you can beat you for big plays, or they can just get first downs and move the chains. They can beat you on 12-yard drives. They can beat you on 12-play drives, or they can beat you on 2-play drives. So right now, offensively, they kind of playing great. We seen the defense last week. Defense, they run around. They're very physical. Shout out to 24 Tyler Hackenbrae. He mean. Shout out to Tyler. When I say mean, I'm saying that as a compliment. He played football the right way. You know what I mean? He played football the right way. You could tell defensively he's that tone setter. He's that energy guy. You know what I mean? Vito McConnell, Mike Wright Jr., shout out to them guys. We ain't got no inside info at Massillon, so either way, I'm just speaking about the game. Hopefully Jaden Williams get to play this week. I like that kid. I've been watching him on film. He's a good football player also, linebacker from Massillon, so I hope they get a chance to play. This is my question for Massillon. Can their defense create turnovers and get their offense more possessions? And what I'm saying is, I just talked about the blueprint when Canton McKinley loses. Most of the time when Canton McKinley loses because they're turning the ball over and they got a lot of penalties. So they're prone to show that they could turn the ball over. If you mass in defense, can you force them into that? Because they're still going to be aggressive because the type of players they got, Canton McKinley. They got a good quarterback. They got 3 good receivers. You know what I mean? They play a lot more. No knock on the other receivers. I'm just saying they got 3 big-time receivers that can all make plays. You can slide Dante McClellan in there and play receiver still if you want to. He already proved what he could do to you as a receiver last year. So they got 3 good backs. So it ain't like Massillon going to come in here like, oh, we hope we can make plays. They're going to come in and be aggressive. I'm sorry, Canton McKinley, they're going to come in and be aggressive, as they should, the type of players they got. So if you Massillon's defense, can we force a couple of turnovers and get our offense an extra 2 or 3 possessions? Because we feel like if we do that, if we Massillon, we know what our offense is going to do. So that's my question for Massillon, brother. I'm so excited to be in the place, bro. And this is my question for you, bro, and then I'm going to let you go. Is this the best high school rivalry game in the country?
I believe it is based off of proximity and historical reverence for both programs. Right? If you go to the Canton McKinley campus, which is on the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame for the game,
right?
The Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Canton McKinley share a campus. So if you look at what the Canton McKinley the historic, prestige of that program is,
right.
And then you go right across town and you look at, to the historic Paul Brown,
yes,
Tiger Stadium, Chris Spillman on the Wheatie box, all these storylines, the historical, the movie title time. So it's all these different historical elements to both of the programs.
Right.
So yes, I would argue that it's one of the greatest high school rivalries in the country because of that element. It's like when you go to Canton McKinley, if you any type of function that's being had at the Hall of Fame, those kids you get to go see the best who ever did it on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
And
at your school.
At your school. So that becomes part of the fabric of what you also represent. Not just some schools can have just like, okay, we represent our city, our town, our school, but representing being in a city that houses the Pro Football Hall of Fame kind of puts an extra, what you also represent is the standard of the game, because that's where the highest standard of the game is showcased at.
Great points, brother.
But just to answer your question, yes.
Right.
In short, yes.
You broke it down right. I like all them points too, bro.
Now I got a question for you about this game.
Okay, talk to me.
Cam Montgomery. We've been talking about Cam Montgomery and how his play. Now Cam Montgomery coming from Texas.
Yep.
Right. Is that a unfair advantage for Canton McKinley because he gets to play smooth as he is? I mean, he I'm sure it's been, he understands the rivalry.
Right.
I'm sure he understands. It's been very clear to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's riding on this game. However, him not being so consumed in it for all these years, does that gives him an opportunity to go out there and just play the football, the brand of football that he was brought here to play?
No. This is why. When you're in the team sport, you play for your teammates.
For sure.
So that's a great question. I understand, because that's a great question. As you were starting to explain, I understand where you was going. So that's a great question. But no, because you play for your teammates. You might have came from Texas, and some people may look at you like, okay, he came from Texas, he going to play, go to college, and be back in Texas where, But no, because guess what? Them guys that you playing with, them guys that you playing for, guess where they from? Guess where they grew up at? Guess who they hate? Guess who they don't like? So it's like any other thing. When you join
their family became his family.
Yeah. So absolutely not. If anything, I'm not saying outside pressure because Cam a good player. I'm sure there's nobody around the program who's saying he got to play well. I'm sure he's putting more pressure on himself. That's how competitors think. Man, I came here from Texas. This is our biggest rivalry. My teammates, my brothers want to beat these boys bad. I got to go play well for my guys. You know what I mean? I got to go play well for my guys. And the good thing is he's from Texas. You know what I mean? If there is a state that play
right, for sure.
A state because there's a lot of big time states that play big time high school football. But if there's one state where you can play high school football at and understand the tradition and the rivalry of this high school football game, you'll be fine. He's from Texas. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to put more pressure on himself. I think he can handle the pressure. At this point, it's just a matter of, just going to play football, making sure I'm reading when I'm supposed to read, making sure my eyes where they're supposed to be. I'm taking what the defense give me, don't get greedy. And if I get a shot, get a chance to make a big play, be comfortable and make the big play. I'm sure that's what Coach Hall telling him, you know what I mean? Because the talent jumps off the film. As a whole, starting with him, because he touched the ball every play, they just got to take care of the ball. They got to take care of the ball. But I would say, like you said, short, quick answer, no. You know what I mean? He got to be locked in because your brother's looking at you like, let's go. And if you play team sports, you know that feeling, you know that look. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to let their teammates down. I'm not saying if they don't win this, it'll be his fault. I'm saying just nobody want to let their teammates down. You don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the one when we talking 10, 15, 20 years from now. It ain't that we talking about the win or the loss. Man, you were scared or you weren't even in the foxhole. So I think he looking at it like this probably was the number one game he circled when he got to town to Canton and they started talking to him about high school football and the way it is at Canton McKinley.
And I think I really like that there's matchups with this game. You know what I'm saying? What Cam brings, the way he can spin it, the way he can see over the defense because he's going to need that vision to buy that time. But he also got playmakers that he can spin it to, which means a guy like Tyler Hackenberg, who as nasty as he is, he got to cover.
Yeah.
You got to cover too, because that's a nasty. If some of y'all safeties want to go watch his film, that's a different brand of football that it's not even celebrated as much as it used to be. But I seen him.
Don't change, Tyler. Keep playing.
I went and watched that game over and over again, and he plays that game in an old school way. Somebody
plays to the echo of the whistle.
Right.
Just how we like it as coaches.
And
plays to the echo of the whistle.
All those little intricacies that come with just being a tough player. Like you might get a knee on his way to getting up to the gut, so you just got to be tough enough to deal with it because he believes he's tougher than most of the people on the other side of the ball, and he played like it.
Man, you could tell that tone. You could tell that tone setter for the defense.
For sure.
You could tell.
So I'm looking forward to this game matchup wise. Of course, all the hype around it being the type of rivalry it is, but also I'm looking forward between the X's and O's and the matchups because I think this year I like Canton McKinley as a team that plays with swag, and Massillon played with swag.
Right.
But as far as where Massillon, they won't come in because of that swag and because of this rivalry, like you said, familiarity breeds contempt. And I feel like Canton McKinley feel like we don't care nothing about last year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they got that kind of demeanor about them.
That's a great point you made about the matchups also. Like, if you look at it, Massillon got the ball. Massillon got a good offensive line. They played against St. Ed's. They've been playing against a lot of good talent. But look at Canton McKinley's front seven. Kavion McNeil, Dante McClellan, Dior Gardner. So they got some boys up there. That's a good matchup. You talk about when Massillon got the ball out wide. You know what I mean? They got Ja Carter, Braylon Toles. Well, we know Canton McKinley got athletes in the secondary.
Indeed.
So that's a good matchup. When you flip it, Canton McKinley got the ball. They got a big, strong offensive line. But guess who you got to block? Mike Wright Jr. and crew up front.
Right.
They got a young sophomore who been playing well. Got his first sack last week against Harding. That's playing well. Vito McConnell at linebacker. I don't know if Jaden Williams is going to play or not, but that's another backer. He's sideline to sideline. He everywhere. He's a good football player. And then when you look at Canton McKinley's receivers, DJ Britt, Darius Hill, Keith Quincy, they got a three-headed monster. But then you playing against Damari Clemens, Tyler Hackenbraid, we just talked about, and that crew back there, the secondary. So kind of every matchup is nice. Two good coaching staffs.
Yes, indeed.
The environment is going to be there. Coaching staff is going to be there. Talent is going to be there. Matchups is going to be there. College recruits on the field. This game got everything you want.
Everything you want.
On a Saturday afternoon at 2:00.
Did we get our credentials?
We waiting.
Can you help a brother out?
Talk to us, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Help us out in Massillon.
Yes. Coach Moore.
I know they're busy out there.
Yeah, I know y'all busy. I know we ain't trying to bother y'all too much this week, but we need those credentials so our face can be in the place.
Let us in the place, man. We got to be up in there, man.
But yeah, man, that's our ELLIE House game of the week.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? The game.
Let's go.
We got Canton McKinley 6-3.
You know it.
Going over to Paul Brown Tiger Stadium to take on the defending state champions.
Yep.
Massillon Tigers, they 7-2.
Yep.
Our face to be in the place. If we got to hop the fence, we got to do what we got to do. Let's get to these shout-outs, Coach. Let's get them out of here.
Let's go, baby. Here we go. You know, I'm going to start us off right here, man. You know, I always start with shout-outs. My kids, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my babies, my granddaughter. They're the reason why I do everything. You know what I mean? Make me a better person, better father for sure. I say it every week, all of our supporters. We got some more love last week, kind of wherever we go, people coming up, giving us some love.
Indeed.
We appreciate it. Trust me, we appreciate it wholeheartedly. So thank you. Shout out to my guy, Mike Phillips Care Training. My guy, Marlon Richardson. That's my little cousin, and I coach Marlon. Shout out to my boy, Z. Z just happened to be here with me over here behind the scenes.
Shout out to
we all got the same birthday, man. So shout out to the guys, man. October 20 game. You know what I mean? Shout out to the guys. You know, we heavy, man. So shout out to the guys, man. And shout out to Massillon Jackson. Snapped a 17-game losing streak to Canton McKinley. I don't know if you've seen that, bro. 17 games in a row they had lost to Canton McKinley, so they got that done. So shout out to the Massillon Jackson program. And my last shout out, bro, is to all senior players and parents. Shout out to you, bro. You got a senior player and you a senior parent.
Indeed.
When you're young, don't take stuff for granted, man. Enjoy it.
For sure.
Everybody ain't going to play college football. That ain't got nothing to do with your ability. It's a numbers game. You know, sometimes the ball quit bouncing and quit rolling for everybody at some point. So sometimes it got to be in high school, junior high, college, pros, whatever it is. So enjoy your senior year.
Indeed.
You got one more game guaranteed, unless you already clinched a playoff spot. You know what I mean? And after that, it's win or go home. So enjoy this last week, man. Enjoy being in the locker room with your teammates, man. Enjoy joking with your coaches. You know what I mean? Enjoy them pep rallies or wearing your jersey on game day, whatever traditions your school may have. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? So shout out to the senior players and the parents, man.
For sure, man. Definitely, I start out with shout out to the family as always. You know, the Incredibles. Y'all know how we give it up. Of course, again, shout out to the birthday squad. Y'all heavy. Shout out to my guy, Mike Phillips Care Trainer. Shout out to Coach Stella. Everybody know everything he brings to our community and with all the work he put in. So shout out to you, bro. Happy birthday once again. You know what I'm saying? We love you here. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to all the seniors players, like you said, seniors, players, and parents. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kamitri. I got to enjoy senior night with my son.
Shout out nephew. Shout out 5.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 5. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing. It was fun. You know, it's always a proud moment when you get to have those with your children, walk across the stage, and you get to see them go.
That's dope.
You know, from you taking them everywhere to they. You know what I'm saying? They out there representing the whole family. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kamitri. Salute. Proud of you. I want to send a special shout out to my son's grandmother, Evelyn McLean. You know what I'm saying? And I want a special shout out to my pops. They both in the fight. They kicking cancer's ass right now. Some days is better than others. But like I said, shout out to them. They definitely the strongest people, some of the strongest people I know as far as everything that they don't complain. Sure. They just deal with it. And I just want to recognize them and say, you know what I'm saying, stay hard, keep plugging, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't about nothing. We got things to do. So, you know what I mean? We always gonna be bigger than whatever the situation is in front of us. And I appreciate the example that they showed me is as far as strength and courage and just doing what they got to do to make it through the things that they come across. So shout out to Evelyn, shout out to T Hug, love you, boy.
You know it.
Love y'all, and On that note, man, we can
hey,
get
I
up out
forgot
of
one
here.
Shout out nephew, man, over here on the ones and twos, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Khalid, man.
Oh,
My
yeah.
nephew. We got the best producer in the game. You know what
Definitely,
I mean?
definitely.
One of the most talented individuals. I'm gonna say it every week. One of the most talented individuals I know. You know what I mean?
Sure,
so, you know, that's what I do, man. Especially with our babies. If nobody else ain't gonna tell them, I'm gonna tell them.
And also, if you go to the interviews YouTube channel, look at Shades of Yesterday. The trailer just dropped. It's a show that Khalid has produced. He produced it himself.
Shout out
he
to
the brainchild of it.
Yep.
And Shades of Yesterday, he's talking to some of the elders in the community, and they taking us back, telling us about how things were in their time growing up. So look for Shades of Yesterday on interviews platforms, produced by Khalid Lewis. He did his thing. If he got so much sauce around the city, you know, you be looking at his work and don't even know it. But shout out to him. Y'all be on the lookout for Shades of Yesterday. And
support, baby.
That's it, man. That's all I got, man. One love. We'll see y'all next week.
One more week and it's playoff time.
Indeed. Twin Lines of Coach Stella.
Mario Manningham, stay locked in between the lines with Coach Stella.